Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Unroyal, your host for this Lambo showcase. Now, this thing has a lot of power. Let's see what happens when we put a bunch of idiots in one. Pretty good start. It does pull off to the side though, so we gotta watch out for that. We got one dude already off on the very far right side. We got Kerber shooting right up the center. First turn, do we have mayhem? A little bit. I get pushed off onto the wide end of the turn. Looks like small amount of contact right now. We got one dude that's just... Okay, it went from a lawnmower to a master sandcastle builder, so that's a first for this series. Luckily, I wasn't part of that. Massive pileup. Braking a little late there. Getting around Kerber there for a split second. Starts drifting. I get right beside him. Thought there was a little bit of contact there. Turns out there wasn't. Tried to give him a little more room there. He seems to be a little on the aggressive side when it comes to driving. There's a little bit of collision that we got. Catching up to Pumpkin here. He's really holding it down. We got a bunch of people right in front of me. Kerber putting some pressure on the rear end of my car. Going into this S-bend, we got another master sandcastle builder. Getting around Pumpkin there. Kerber does the same thing. And take a little swig of coffee there. We got a Manu there. He forgets which way he's turning, so he goes a little wide. Right at the end. He probably blew out a tire or something. Who knows? Paulzino, he ends up getting a 60-second, or a 6/10 of a second off-track penalty there. Obviously trying to cut corners. We never want to do that here. So at this point, just try to catch up. Try to be within that half a second margin. Kerber, he's got me on the straightaway. He gets around me pretty quick. Don't even fight it. I let him go around. It's not even a argument there. By the way, we are in the number 63 Huracan. For those that are wondering, I don't know if I mentioned that earlier in the video. You got some tires dipped into the grass there. A little sand kicked up. Some drifting. I get into the back of Kerber there. Paulzino, he's forgetting how to drive his car a little bit. He tries tapping Kerber out of the way. Doesn't really work. He ends up falling behind me and Kerber here. So now I don't even have to worry about the half a second penalty. I just gotta make sure I stay in front of him. Get into the S-bends here. I try to get right behind Kerber here. Try to get into his draft, his slipstream, and all of that. So far, not really working. We got another guy going off into the grass, coming back at an awkward angle. He is now dropping behind several people. $500,000 turned to 20 after that little dent there. Putting me up to 10th, Kerber up to 9th. And of course, I'm just trying to catch up to Kerber. So far, I'm doing a good job at just trying to keep up. And of course, he's behind. What is that? Here yeah, Jax Alec, he ends up being right behind him. I end up getting right beside Kerber here. He does some really good defense. He keeps me from taking 9th from him. But now he is up to 8th. Jax is, okay, Kerber goes off almost into the sand, trying to be a master sandcastle builder. I get around him for a little bit, but we're on the straightaway. I try to get Jax slipstream, just try to keep up. But Jax does block me for a little bit. I slowly inch ahead of Jax. No, I didn't really get much track time in this thing. I brake way too late. Tapping into Kerber's rear end there. I do feel bad about that one. Somehow don't get a penalty though, so got that going for us. Either way, I secured my position on Jax. Now it's just Kerber. And it's at this point where Kerber just starts really pulling ahead. As you can see, he's going between 0.5 and 0.6 ahead of me, and he just slowly climbs back up. Right here, he's Just slowly pulling ahead. So at this point, you know what? Instead of making guys go through a full lap, let's just go ahead and skip ahead. Where Nanchira dips off into the sand. I get around him very quick right before the final hairpin. Or not hairpin, the elongated U-turn. Securing 8th place. Race ending in about a minute and a half, but I'm not even going to have to worry about that. So, crossing the finish line. Total time, 7 minutes, 58 seconds. Best lap time of a minute 55. And gaining 11 positions, so we got that going for us here at Mugello. Let's see what we get later. Alright, we're taking this beast to Kone, where right off the bat, we got Leo the Bunny going straight into earliest coast. I have no idea what beef those two have, but it is obviously a very aggressive rivalry. Heading into turn 1, waiting for some mayhem outside of getting spanked. Obviously, not that bad of a first turn experience, I will say. Other than getting some rear-ended in there. It looks like an attempted ram, which causes me to slam right into whoever that was. I did not catch the name. Luckily, I don't get a penalty for that one. I had no fault in that whatsoever. Here we are going to the second. We got Rizla right into the tire barrier. I wonder what happened there. We got one dude just facing the absolute wrong direction. We're already getting people rage quitting. Note, I'm on medium tires on a rainy day, so that's probably not a good idea on my end. I probably should have went with wets, but either way, I'm still holding it down on here. I'm only 17th. It's better than dead last, so keeping up with the pack at this point. Going into turn 1, it's really not that crazy of a race. We got people going off track right now. I catch up to Leo the Bunny. Getting around him for a little bit. I go off the track for a second. Game didn't count that one though, so obviously the track's a little wider than what the markers show. Leo takes his position back. Rizla obviously catching up to me very quickly. Obviously not too happy that he was rather humiliated by the tire wall there. And going into this turn here, we got 3 Lamborghinis trying to be master sandcastle builders. Don't know what it is about people in the sand, but obviously they're not too happy. I get a collision there. The guy's probably not too happy with me for some reason. Probably thought that I built the sandcastle myself and mine was better or something. I don't know. But either way, shoot myself up to 15th position. Car level up to 12. I haven't really upgraded this thing at all, by the way. It's pretty much bone stock as far as a car or a game is concerned. We got Rizla taking the turn way too wide. Get up to Game Changer though. This is going to start a rivalry in this race. Here we are side by side, and it's like this for quite a bit. Here are some of the highlights. He does get around me on the straightaway. He does have top speed over me, but he does have a 4-second penalty, so my thought process is as long as I keep up with him, I should be alright. He almost goes into, who is that, Leo the Bunny there. Like I said, as long as I keep up with him, we should be alright. Or, of course, if he accumulates more penalties to where he ends up getting kicked out of the race, which I haven't seen it happen yet. We got one dude hitting the wall, almost taking Game Changer out. The V-Room just not having a good day there, obviously, to me. Game Changer brake checks me for a second. I get around him for just a moment in turn 1. No penalties given out, though, so obviously the game didn't think he brake checked me, but I feel as though he brake checked me. Someone's going to have to really look at the footage and tell me if I'm right or not. Skipping ahead, though, to the ending of our rivalry. Going into turn 1, or not turn 1, the final corner, I should say. Lap 5. I'm ahead of Game Changer here. He's we did have some people going to the pit there, so I figured I'd highlight that real quick. Skipping ahead to the final straightaway, Game Changer starts to really reel me in, but I brake late and he brakes way too late, and he decides, you know what, I'm going to make a sandcastle, go into the tire wall, and really go and throw the race for me. So, thank you Game Changer for that. Really got to keep in mind about braking zones. We got more people going to the pits here. Shooting me from 11th up to, let's see here, 8th, 7th, up to 6th place after all those people went into the pits. So, goes to show that even though you might have it lost, you don't always have it there. Skipping ahead to the 2-minute warning, though, I end up catching up to Knack here, though, who has 0.2 seconds in penalties. Going into the final corners, I do get around him. Shooting me up to 5th place, 2 spots away from podium. Matt's here, though. He does really get around me, or he keeps up, gets around me, crossing over the line. Finishing the race at 8 minutes, 57 seconds, with a good lap time of 1 minute, 5 seconds. So, I'm going to go upgrade my car and see what we can do with a few upgrades. Alright guys, final race for the video, and this is jam-packed with a lot going on. I'm honestly not even going to cut anything out of this race because there is so much. So going into the first turn here, no mayhem for once. I mean, yeah, we got some people taking it wide, some people just forcing people off the track. But here we go into the second corner. I do go off track here because Gorbach there, he's being a little aggressive here. I think a lot of people are just having a bad day today, or at least during this race. We got a massive pile up here. I get caught in the middle of it. Like I said, I have a feeling a lot of people are having a bad day. I know I was today. I found out my car was having some bad seals, so the oil was leaking quite a bit, causing misfires, causing it to not really be safe to drive, stalling on the road and all that. So, needless to say, I wasn't having a good day myself. But here I am catching up to just about everyone. I did upgrade what I could, even though the car's only level 15. Looks like an attempted ram there, going off into the bleachers. No penalty on my end. You'd think after... Okay, we got 2 people there, probably comparing either paint jobs or Yu-Gi-Oh cards or Pokemon cards or something. I don't know. Those 2 were just having one sort of dispute, probably over something stupid. Going into the S-Bends here, looks like some people are losing control. We got T-Roy's just, looks like he's playing it a little aggressive here. We got, Podzilla here. Let me just go ahead and make my player a little bigger. I can't right now, okay. Gotta remember that for the future when I'm doing these voiceovers. But anyways, I start catching up to, number 13, Podzilla 65 here. Getting around him, I did put a little bit of top speed into this thing just so I could be a little more competitive on the straightaways, since I know that's where I was struggling. Getting into the double 90, Podzilla pushing me out of the way, going off track, giving me a 1/10 of a second penalty. I was not happy about that one at all. Alright, going into turn 1 again. Catching back up to Pod here. He's playing it a little aggressive, if I say so myself. He seems to be just trying to psych people out. They both go off the track. Gorbach here, he's almost coming on to the track at a really awkward angle. He somehow doesn't have any penalties, though. That's kind of the amazing thing. If I recall correctly, he's gone off the track a couple times. FM Elite, there he goes off the track. Looks like he attempts to spin me out. He fails at it pretty easily there. Anyways, here we are going on to the straightaway. I'm trying to catch up to Podzilla here, who's got almost 2 seconds in penalties. Granted, I should just keep up with him. It would be smart of me, but at the same time, I want to make sure I can pass him. I know I can. And plus, if I get around him, that's one less stepping stone from the podium. And it was going through turn 1 again. It looks like some bumper-to-bumper action between number 9 and number 10. Or I'm sorry, number 8 and number 9, I should say. Podzilla with a bit of a smack there, almost causing another pile up. He goes off track again. I'm amazed he does not get another penalty there. He probably should have. I get rear-ended by Big Skull there. He probably thinks I'm the one that rear-ended him, but either way, it gets me around Podzilla. I start catching up to him. It looks like he's just trying to keep me from passing. Yeah, a little bit of a grinding there. And of course, he does ram someone, but it looks like I was his main target. Podzilla spinning me out. FM Elite deciding, you know what, let's just join him and trying to ruin my race. So, question is, what happens when you put a bunch of idiots in $500,000 race cars? Is obviously not a very good time. I'm sure a lot of hypercar enthusiasts are probably crying at this point, and I do apologize. I do not mean this hatred towards Lamborghinis. I might not be a full-on fan of them. I might be more American Muscle and certain JDMs, but I do have a soft spot for the Lamborghini from time to time. I do think they're nice, at least. Got Peg Leg Goat trying to spin me out. Obviously not happy at the fact that I'm ahead of him. And he somehow doesn't get a penalty for that one. I wonder how many people are paying off turn 10 for their penalties. I ended up getting a 10th of a penalty just for going off track to avoid a collision. That's not a fun time. Not a fun time at all. Anyway, somehow staying in 11th place, trying to just catch up to Mr. Raccoon here. Looks like they're having a little battle there. I end up getting on Raccoon's bumper there, somehow managing to get around him. I try to take the turn a little wide, trying to avoid any more collisions, because I have a feeling turn 10 is mad at me for something or something. Finally getting around Raccoon here. Now to catch up to Diesel Mechatech here. So I think Podzilla is in front of him, if I recall correctly. Getting up to this hairpin here. Getting right on Diesel's bumper. Here we are on the straightaway. I think this is where I should start reeling him in. Yes, his time ahead of me is slowly dropping. There we are, 0.3, 0.2. There we are, 0.1, getting up to the double 90 here. Trying to execute this turn really well. He does cut into my line there, so I had to back off a little bit just to avoid a collision. Catch up to him during turn 1. I take it a little tight, trying to catch up. I do end up spinning the tires a little bit, but it doesn't matter. I get around him. Where Gorbach is right behind, or in front of me with 2 seconds ahead. I do got 2 left to catch up to him, though, so hopefully I pull this one off, get into the hairpin. But, of course, Diesel is right behind me, so I got to worry about that as well. And I do have a 10th of a second penalty on me, so I just got to try to get ahead of him as fast as possible. Gorbach is now a second and a half ahead, trying to catch up to him. I got minor tire wear, but we got one more lap, so hopefully I should be alright. Diesel coming up on the inside, really ruining my line there. He's getting a little aggressive here on the near final lap. There I go off track, getting right back on. No penalty there for some reason. Apparently, if you avoid a collision to go off track and process, that counts as a penalty. But going off track just for the hell of it is apparently okay in the eyes of turn 10. Anyways, my minor tire wear is probably going to be what makes or breaks me, because Diesel Mechanic is doing some stupid stuff. We got 2 people having an argument, one of them being Podzilla. He's almost at 10 seconds in penalties. So, I managed to catch up, get around him. My goal for the race to make sure he doesn't come anywhere ahead of me is okay. Catch up to Gorbach here. Getting around him, I do play a little aggressive. Getting around Diesel as well. Getting in the 6th place. Final turn of the race. At this point, I put the pedal to the metal, trying to make sure I get across the finish line, and there we go. Finishing with 8 minutes, 45 seconds, with a good lap time of just over a minute. And that's going to be the video, guys. If you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Later.